Class number 14. We are on Daf Kaftet Talmud Aleph. We are in the middle of our second sugya. Okay, middle of our second sugya, which begins with the words. Someone help me out here. Begins where?
Minalan dichtiv. No.
Lifdoto. Right. Wait. No. We didn't reach there yet.
Where?
No. Lemula Minalan. Right.
Lemula
Minalan. Right. Which is let's remember the context. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The Gemara is trying to investigate from where do we actually know that a man is obligated to give his son a brit milah and that a woman is exempt from it. Okay, so what we did so far is we did the first. We discovered as we trailed the different function words that that there are two stages to the sugya. Okay, and if we look at our sheets, like we kind of laid it out on our sheets, right? One stage is from where do we know that he is obligated, and then it goes and starts talking about separately from where do we know that she is exempt. Okay, that's two separate things. So we kind of finished the first stage, the first half of the sugya, the one that goes to prove that he is obligated. Okay, so let's just run through it again. Did we do the stage of inserting the content into our structure? Did we do that already? Yeah, we did. Right, I see that you have it written in there. So we've done that already. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read, and you guys are going to explain it to me, just so we can remember where we're at. Okay. Mm-hmm. So lemulo, I'm going to read each stage. You tell me what the stage is and what it's saying. Okay. Lemulo menalan.
That's Sheila.
Good. Sheila asking what?
Where do we know about the
father is obligated to the son?
Right, you know that, but is that what it says? No, but you know it from the context, right? What is it actually saying? From where do we know that a father has to obligate to circumcise his son? But it can't be asking that. That cannot be the whole question, right? For two reasons. One, what do you mean? You wouldn't waste our time on asking us from where do we know that a father needs to circumcise his son. It's written pshat in the Torah. The assumption is that the Gemara is only going to ask a question if it's something that is not obvious. Okay? Mm-hmm. And besides the fact that the phrase lemulo, to circumcise him, that's a quote, right? From the Braita above. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue. Dichtiv vayamol Avram et Yitzchak beno. Stop. What is this?
Tshuva, no?
Yeah.
Yes,
A tshuva. And what is the tshuva saying? It's just quoting a pasuk, saying vayamol Avram et Yitzchak beno. So from where is the proof?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the proof in this, right? We're trying to ask, from where do we know that a father is obligated to circumcise his son? Oh, because the pasuk says vayamol Avram et Yitzchak beno. How does this answer the question?
We had said that the bano is...
Excellent. But no. If it's just telling us a story, it's vayamol Avram et Yitzchak. Why does it say his son? Is there a chance we forgot that Yitzchak is his son? Mm-hmm. No. But no, he's saying why is Avram giving him a brit? Because he is his son. Okay? That proves it. V'heicha delo mahale avuha michayve beidina lemimhile. What is that?
That was a main.
Yeah, it's a statement. What is it saying?
That in the case that his father was not giving the birth.
Right. Heicha, in the place, or in the case, delo mahale, that his father does not give him a brit. Michayve, from the word chayav, right? Michayve beidina. What's beidina, Alex?
The court.
The court, right? Lemimele, to give him a brit. Dichtiv himo lachem kol zachar. Okay. Now, so where in this pasuk does it prove that the beidin is obligated? Himo lachem kol zachar. How does that prove it? Again, we gotta use the fact that just because the Gemara says it, it's not enough. Right?
The tense.
The tense, very good. Himol lachem, that for you, plural lachem, all males shall be circumcised. Meaning, so this is your plural obligation. Himol lachem kol zachar. Let's continue. Beheicha delo mahale beidina mechayev ihu lemim hal nafshei. Meaning,
in case the bris is not given by the Beit Din,
Good.
Mia have, he has to,
Mechayev ihu lemimhal nafshe.
so he himself has to.
He has to give himself a brit, I guess, once he's old enough. Dichtiv, ve'arel zachar asher lo yimol et besar orlato v'nichreta. And a uncircumcised male whose foreskin will not be circumcised will be cut off, will be punished. How does this serve as proof? How does this prove the fact that if a person's father didn't circumcise him and the Beit Din didn't do it, then he has to do it for himself? How does this pasuk prove it?
Well,
Because
hold on.
otherwise he is cut off.
Right, so two things actually, I think. One, because he's being held responsible. Why would he be held responsible if it's not his obligation? Why would I get punished for something that my father didn't do? Excuse me, right? But also,
So this goes back to the fact that a male needs to do it and a female does not.
this is not part of the proof. This is something that, no?
That's what I'm trying to get.
Oh, right, I know. This is what you and Lawrence last time were trying to push to come and say, no, this can give us both proofs. And I said, no, this is just going to, this is the tangent.
Yeah.
The proof, the proof that we wanted to bring for our conversation, we brought already.
Was only the first one.
Only the first one. This is a tangent. It's an important one. It's an interesting one. But again, remember, it's like a live discussion. A live discussion is dynamic. You mention one thing and say, okay, well, that's an interesting halacha. And what happens when that can't happen? You know, oh, okay, then his father does it. And what if his actually the Beit Din? What's the Beit Din? Does he have to do it himself? Where do you know that from? Oh, from the pasuk. It says, because now it's also from the punishment, but also because it says, also from the text, Asher lo yimol et besar orlato, that he does not give him, that he does not circumcise himself. It says it explicitly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we reached. Okay, so that's our structure. We have a question, we have an answer, we have a. That's why also in the structure, the flow chart, right? The first and second boxes are connected. Second and third are not, because it's in the topic, but it's not a result. It's not this, meaning the third box is not responding to it, either an attack or an answer. It's just saying, oh, and here's another detail about that. So it's not directly a result of it. It's just, we're talking about this already. I have another thing to say about it. Okay, now at the second part of the sugya, which is, what are we ready now? Now that we've proven that a man is obligated, a father is obligated to circumcise his son, what do we still have to prove? What are we interested in proving?
The woman is not obligated.
And this is where it gets interesting. Okay, let's go. So let's do. I think we already identified the function words, right? We've done that already.
Yes.
Okay. So you have. Okay. So go ahead and just. So now we can insert the text, insert the content into the thing, right? We have. Let's just go over the function words. The first function word is what? Is a menalan, which is going to be what? A question, followed by a tshuva, right, with the word dichtiv, and then we're going to have what? Another menalan, which is another she'elah. Now, is this she'elah going to be based on what we said so far? Chances are yes, because you're asking a question. Yes, a question based on something. Mm-hmm. Something has bothered you, or there's something that you don't know on which you're going to ask a question, right? And then there's going to be I can't even see what I wrote down. A tana, which will be what will be a tshuva. And then we saw two dichtivs, which confused us a bit, and we said we're going to have to wait till we actually get there to help us clarify it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because two rayot after a tshuva seems unnecessary.
Right.
Bring me one proof. If you bring me a second proof, maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed a kushya in the middle, or I missed a kushya tshuva, whatever. I missed something in the middle. Well, the only reason I would need to prove something twice is if something was wrong with the first one. And the only way I would know that something was wrong with the first proof is if you came and you attacked it, or if you questioned it. So to have a proof and another proof after it would be unnecessary. The Gemara would not, for no reason, bring another proof unless there was something causing it to do that. So, is this two different proofs? Have we missed something? Or is this one proof that's just using the word twice? Okay, we'll see. It's the second, but we'll see it when we get inside. Okay, we ready? So let's see. So Menalan, let's go to the. Let's just we'll do this together. Where are we? Okay. So everybody want to go ahead and read? We're going to read a stage and try to understand it based on we have our cheat sheet. Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead and read the Gemara.
Okay, Menalan.
No, you missed the first word.
Okay, ihi. She. Menalan delo.
Stop. Oh no, I'm saying. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Menalan delo mechayva.
Okay, so what's the question?
Okay, so from where do we know that she is not obligated?
Right, that's a question, right? So if I were to do this in the long version answer, the Gemara is asking, from where do we know that a mother or a woman is not obligated to give her son a brit? Okay, because one of the things that's really important to get used to is to not just be thinking about what the Gemara is saying, but first and foremost what the Gemara is doing. Okay, because then even if you find yourself stumbling and not understanding, and by the way, when I say you, I'm saying me myself as well. When I'm learning, a lot of the times I don't understand the words, or I don't understand the exact argument. But then I find myself making sure I know what the Gemara is trying to do, and even if I don't understand every word or every detail, I can continue, and either eventually I figure it out, or I don't even figure it out completely, but I get the picture. Okay, so the Gemara is asking a question: from where do we know that a mother or a woman, is not obligated to give her son a brit milah? Okay, בסדר. Alex, you want to go ahead?
זה כתיב, כאשר ציווה אותו אלוהים, אותו ולא אותה.
Stop. Okay. So, what is the Gemara doing here?
It's raya. It's like.
So we said like the word dichtiv 99% of the time is a raya. But in this case, we know it's a tshuva, even though that phrasing is really almost always a raya. Okay, but a raya would not come after a she'elah. So over here, it's just using the language of it, but it's actually giving an answer. Okay, so it's giving an answer. From where is it giving an answer? From a pasuk. Okay, so what is the pasuk saying? Kasher tziva oto Elohim, like Elohim commanded him. That's now. Where does the pasuk end? By the way.
Right there.
Yeah. Right? Kasher tziva oto Elohim. And now it's going to go and explain to you from where we actually learn it. Oto velo ota. So what's the proof?
So then it was him and not
Right. Because if that word were not something to be learned from, what would be missing if the pasuk just said, Kasher tziva Elohim? He did as Hashem commanded. Why as Hashem commanded him? Meaning as Hashem commanded him, but that he did not command her. Because again, the verse, the pasuk, would have all its meaning. There would be nothing missing from the pasuk's meaning if it just said, and he did as Hashem commanded. No, but it adds as Hashem commanded him. To teach you, him, he commanded, but her, he didn't. Who's her that he did not command? Where's this pasuk taken from? Who is it referring to?
Abraham.
Avraham Avinu, yes. So who is it saying that she was him and not her? So, no, it's important. You'll see later on. Okay. Do we now have an answer to the question from where do we know that a woman is exempt?
Not yet.
Why not? Wait, why yes?
Because she was specifically excluded.
Okay. Is that a good enough proof?
Well, it doesn't say that she is. She could have been the next one in line. Let's say Abraham couldn't do it.
No, because no, because the obligation is on the Beit Din always. It's just that I hear you saying because it's exempting. Oh, you're saying
because here it says it commanded him. Still doesn't give us an answer why she's exempt.
Okay, that's a good point. It's a good point. And so he's saying, listen, all it's saying is that no, because she's being explicitly excluded. But it still isn't a good enough proof.
But then you can say Beis Din is specifically excluded, and Yitzchak himself is specifically excluded.
No.
No, because you'd be.
Oh, you're saying why does the Midrash say him and not his son? Him and not Beis Din.
Oh,
Why him? Why does the Midrash? Why is the correct understanding of that? Some things being excluded. It's being very specific, right? And it's him and not someone else, right?
Right.
So you're saying who says
Just
it's
priority.
who says it's him and not her? Maybe it's him and not Beis Din. Him and not his son. Him and not whoever, right? Okay, good. That's a good question. I was thinking about something else because you haven't proven that women are exempt. You've proven that Sarah is exempt.
I see.
Oh, future, yeah.
Right.
You're telling me that all women are exempt, right? You haven't shown me that. So what is the Gemara going to ask? I mean, your question, I'm willing to bet, appears in the Rishonim.
Mm-hmm.
That's a question that the Rishonim would ask. Why would and chances are there'll be an answer coming and saying why it wouldn't make sense to come and say that it's excluding Beis Din. For instance,
It's not Beis
no, not necessarily because of that, because we've already just learned. We just showed you there's two other psukim from which we learn that Beis Din is obligated to under certain circumstances, and that he himself is obligated. So it can't be that the Torah somewhere else is coming and saying something which will contradict what it says over there. We've already just shown you. So it can't be that pasuk is excluding that. I'm willing to bet there's a reason who asked that question, and then answers my answer.
Does the sequence matter? The fact that the
No, chronologically speaking, the fact that the pasuk about Avram appears early in the Torah, no, because the Midrash is not chronological, is not dependent on the chronological thing of the Torah. No, it's seen as one whole thing, right? So that would be why I would say again. If this appeared first, if this was they were discussing first, maybe, or someone had not have the knowledge would say, well, maybe it means that it's coming to exclude it's him and not the community. Let's say, well, that's impossible because the Torah says explicitly somewhere else. We see that the community has an obligation. Himor lachem, all children of yours shall be circumcised. Okay, so so it can be. So who could it be excluding? It's not excluding Beis Din. It's not excluding himself. Who's it excluding? Him and not her. But, so now, okay, so let's see what the Gemara asks, okay? Everybody want to go ahead?
Okay.
We're at Ashkechan.
Okay, Eshkachan miyad ledorot minalam.
Okay. So Ashkechan we said...
Okay, so we find from that time...
No, miyad means immediately, at that time.
Immediately.
Ashkechan miyad, we find that this is true for that time. Meaning that what?
for later generations.
No, Ashkechan we find, meaning you've learned, you've just revealed to us, or we now have a source for miyad, for that time. Ledorot menalan, for generations forward. From where do we know? From where do we know what? From where do we know what for future generations?
The woman or not.
The women are exempt. All you've shown me is that Sarah was explicitly excluded. So fine, you've proven to me that Sarah was exempt. How do we know that all women throughout all of history are exempt? Okay, but again, so if I were to say, if we were to be writing in here, saying what is the Gemara doing here, and what is it saying here?
So
I'm filling it up.
Yeah.
I'm filling mine up. What is the Gemara doing and saying here? I'm going to write like this. The Gemara is asking.
So then that's actually a further question.
Yes, it is. That's why it's connected in my flowchart, right? But it's saying, okay, I accept what you're saying, but there's something here I don't understand, right? It's a question. Question. What defines a question? What's the definition of a question? What's the difference between a question and an attack?
It's
Innocent.
It's innocent.
No,
Meaning
no
what?
No prior knowledge, no.
No, not necessarily no prior knowledge. It's innocent, meaning it's just seeking more information. Something you said is not clear enough for me. I'm missing information here. Okay? Versus an attack saying, I'm not missing information. I know you're wrong because of 1, 2, 3. A question, I'm just saying, okay, that's okay. I understand that you've just proven that women are exempt. But here's my question. You've actually only proven that Sarah is exempt. So the Gemara is asking, this, this only teaches, the exclusion of Sarah. Because it's very, very specific. Avram Avinu did as he was commanded. Okay? And not Sarah. The Gemara is asking, this only teaches the exclusion of Sarah. Okay? From where do we know that this is true?
For future generations.
This is true for all generations. You see, because the psukim we read beforehand are mitzvot, are being told to the community, right? Saying that a person who does not circumcise himself does the korban pesach should be or whatever. You, the court, have to make sure that everyone has a brit. This is a chiyuv which is obviously for all generations. Over here, you're telling me a story, right? Avram did as Hashem commanded him to do. You're telling me a story. This is not being told as an obligation. So how do I know that this is something which is the model or the obligation for all of history?
Yes, especially since he was the first Jew, if you want to call him that.
Yeah.
Okay. This was the prototypical Jew.
He was commanded.
There
was no anyone else, right?
He was commanded to circumcise all the males, slaves.
Right. His slaves, his Ishmael, right.
Yeah. It doesn't say anywhere that all your descendants should be circumcised, does it?
Yeah.
It does say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a community commandment at the time.
Well, to Avram, yeah. Okay. When he said to him, you should go and circumcise, and it says, Avram did as he commanded him to do. Not as he commanded to do, commanded him. So yes, he was commanded to circumcise all these people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then from the 8th day, at this point, from the 8th day, whatever. Okay? Mm-hmm. It says as he commanded him. Okay. So now we have a question. The Gemara is asking, I understand what he's saying, but that doesn't prove, that's not, but from where do you know that what you just proved, how do we know that that's true for always and not just for that time?
Yeah.
So it's a question, although it has a little ting to it. So especially saying to listen, you haven't really proved it completely. You've proven it for one case. How do I know that's true for all cases? Okay. Let's continue. So now we need to know, from where do we know that this is true for all generations? Okay, so the Gemara answers.
So now, Rabbi Yishmael, Kol Makom Shememar Tzav, Eino Ela Ziruz, Miyad.
Eino Ela Ziruz, Miyad Uledorot. Okay, so I'll translate. So a braita was stated in the house of the school of Rabbi Ishmael. The bay, like beit, like in the house of, like the house of study of Rabbi Ishmael.
Okay, I can try to do this.
Okay, go ahead.
In all places that it says sav.
Okay, the word sav, quotation marks,
is
Eino Ela. It's a double negative.
Yeah, it is only for the purpose of. That's what it means.
It is only a ziruz. Ziruz is.
Ziruz.
How did I translate it in my cheat sheet? What did I write? What did I write for ziruz? Hastening. Okay, it's trying to get you to do it, right?
Yeah. Hastening.
Encourage and hasten. So kol makom shenamar tzav. Every place where the word tzav, is used. Eino Ela, it's trying to.
It is a hastening.
It's a hastening miyad uledorot. It's a hastening for both immediate and for the future generations. Okay, No, this is just a statement that's just being thrown out there.
Yeah, but I didn't understand how that related to. How that's
Can you give us that's because we did not do what we're supposed to do. Anytime there's a pasuk, no, I don't need one. We all need one. Can we get another one? Another two? That's because we didn't do our job. Our job is whenever there's a quote, you open up the quote. You don't rely on the quotation because sometimes the proof is from the. So where is this taken from?
No.
Wait. You know what? Wait. Before we see the pasuk, okay? We're going to see it in a moment because we got to figure out what's going on here. Okay. So we have this statement, right? It says anywhere it says tzav, it is both for right now and for generations. Now you're saying, well, okay, that sounds nice, but where do we see that in our case? Basically, the Gemara is saying, in Brit Milah it says the word tzav, and therefore it's both for Avram's generation and for future generations. And you're like, well, I don't see that. Where do we see the word tzav in the context of Brit Milah? Okay, so that when we open up the pasuk, let's open up the pasuk. But which pasuk is it going to be talking about? It's talking about the pasuk that we already discussed. It's going to be talking about the pasuk about Avram Avinu. So where's that? We're actually Kaf Aleph. Kaf Aleph. Let's see.
Page 96. 94. Dalet, right? Kafal Dalet.
Let's see. I don't see a tzav here.
Asher Tziva. What do I do with him? No?
It says Tziva.
Yeah, tziva.
Isn't it the same tzav?
Yeah, just 1 second. Where's the place? So it's probably from that, yeah, that it says Kasher Tziva. But where's the place
Where he actually tells him?
where he actually tells him, yeah, where he stigmatizes everyone else?
When he circumcises Ishmael with 3.
But isn't that actually Vav? When it gives, where it brings the dictative after that.
Where? No. That's what he's going to do is after he threw out this statement, saying everywhere it says tzav, it means a hastening both for immediately and for the future. And if you're accustomed to Talmud, you're saying, well, really? That sounds a bit arbitrary. Can you prove that to me? Can you prove to me that when it says the word tzav, it means hastening and encouragement for both immediately and for the future? And then the Gemara is going to go say, yeah, I can prove it to you. I can prove to you that that's what the word tzav means. But that's like a tangent. It's a ready-made statement. Okay. But then it's going to come and say, well, you just said something, which answers that question, but how do I know that that's true?
Yeah.
Right? That's what Gemara does. Everything you say, well, how do I know that's true? Say because of this. I know the answer to that question, but how do I know that that's true? Yeah. Until the Gemara is satisfied.
It's here, page 76.
76.
23.
Sorry, how did you come by that? Because there's some reference to that, or
no, I just remember that it's right before the 3 angels came.
Oh, wait, here. Oh, no, it's beforehand.
Where does he tell him to circumcise?
Just a second. Here, it's 74.
Okay.
Okay.
Covenant, no. Circumcision, yeah, number 9. Teth. 10, sorry.
Right. No, it doesn't use the word tzav here.
No.
So it must be with over there what we saw when he says the word kasher tziva oto Elohim. That word tzav. Okay, that word I guess the Gemara is coming and saying, the Tana of Rabbi Shmuel, the Bright of Rabbi Shmuel, is saying that verb of tzav. Because not everywhere does it say, does he use that word, the word of mitzvah. Okay, it's the same word that from the mitzvah is from that shorish, that root, tzav, which literally means command. The Brita is saying that word, which is not used everywhere. Sometimes it will say a chukah, sometimes it will say a mishpat, sometimes it will say whatever. It's all kinds of different verbs. He says, but the verb, basically the shorish tzav, means a command which is for both now and for all generations. It says kasher tzivas, but pasuk so he says that proves that it's both not only. And then the proof is already in the pasuk you're learning from already, because he said kasher tziva oto Elohim, as Hashem commanded him and not her. And in the word command, now we're being told that the word command, this version of the word command, means for both now and for all generations. And then parentheses, really? How do we know that the word tzav means for both now and the future, hastening for now and the future? And then it's going to bring us two proofs or two answers to show, one for each. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if you look at the flow chart, so we have a question. The Gemara is asking, this only teaches the exclusion of Sarah. From where do we know this is true for all generations, that all women are excluded from the chiyuv? So we have the answer, right? So the Gemara quotes a what? Where is it quoting?
The
Torah.
No.
Tzav.
No. The Gemara answers its question by quoting what? Look, what is it quoting?
Previous.
Ashkechan miyad ledorot menalan. That's our question. And then the answer starts with what word? So what is it quoting?
A Brita.
A Brita, right. So the Gemara quotes a Brita that states that the word tzav in Avram's pasuk by definition is for both, is also for all generations, right? The word tzav in Avram's pasuk, by definition, the word itself, right, by definition, means both for the moment and future. It's really important to keep track of, although it sounds a little bit like, when I say to understand that the Gemara is quoting a Braita. And instead, the Braita itself, the Rabbi Ishmael's, the quote from Rabbi Ishmael, or from Rabbi Ishmael's study hall, was not said in the context of our sugya. It was not talking about Brit Milah. It's being used. It's being.
Kal v'chomer.
No, not kal v'chomer. It's being imported.
It's being borrowed.
It's being borrowed for our sake.
Yeah.
And then you could have, it's not the RKC, someone comes saying, well, you cannot use that quote in our context because of some factor that makes it, you can't, no, the two things have nothing to do with each other.
It's because it might be out of context.
Because it might be out of context, or it might be, as I said, but it's so easy. That's why it's so important to be able to tell which sources are being used at each time. And then when there might be a kushya. In our case, there isn't. But let's say a kushya. Is the kushya on the Braita itself that's being quoted? Is the kushya on the fact that Braita is being used for our case? So it's not a kushya on the Braita, it's a kushya on the person who's borrowing the Braita, because he's taking something that might not be relevant. What is the kushya on? And then when you see the teruts, the removal of the attack, if you don't understand what each stage is talking about, you get lost completely. Okay? So over here, the Gemara is quoting a Braita that states that the word tzav, I actually wrote it correctly. There you go. because I wrote the following for myself. The Gemara quotes a Braita that states that the word Sav in Avram's pasuk by definition means for both moment and future. That's not true, because the Braita itself was not talking about the Avram's pasuk. The Braita is just saying the word Sav by definition means that whenever it's being said, it means for the moment and for the future. So I wrote it incorrectly. Okay? So that the word Sav, I'm just erasing the words in Avram's pasuk. Okay? But the word Sav by definition means for both the moment it's being said and for the future generations. Okay? So wait, do we have an answer to our original question? To both our original questions? A, from where do we know that a father is obligated? And B, from where do we know that a woman is not obligated? Do we have an answer to both those questions?
Yes.
Yes, we do. We do. Are we done? Not yet, because you just quoted a Braita, and that sounds very odd to me. I never knew that before. I don't know if you guys ever knew that the word Sav, which is a root that we hear all the time, mitzvah, 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 okay? Although it might not be as common in the Torah as you think. Okay? The word Sav, okay? But maybe it is, whatever. So it's saying to us something brand new that we never knew before. And it used it to settle that question, which is very nice. But now we got to come and ask, we got to kind of wonder, well, how do you know that? Rabbi Ishmael's students who said it in his study hall. Okay? So
we don't believe Baraisa. You're saying that even though Baraisa is an earlier source than the Gemara.
Well, it's just outside.
No, it's earlier, he's right. The Braita is equivalent to the Mishnah. It's the same authority. It's just Mishnah is the ones that became part of the compendium, and the Braita literally are the ones that stayed outside the compendium. Braita means outside.
Yeah.
Okay? But as far as the level of authority, it is above the Gemara. Meaning a Gemara, or rabbis of the Gemara, Amoraim, cannot contradict a Braita. A Braita has the same authority and strength as a Mishnah.
It has exactly the same authority.
Exactly.
So then why do
Yes.
you need to prove it all together? Like, why do you need to bring a proof?
Well, the truth is, if you were to look carefully, you'd see that it's actually not the Gemara. The Gemara doesn't stop to ask, where do you know this from? It's just the Braita itself goes and proves it without even needing to be asked. Because look, how do I know that? Because it stays Hebrew. The whole thing is Hebrew, which is a giveaway that it's a Mishnaic, Tanaic source, 99% of the time, especially if it's all Hebrew.
The only thing more can question is the application of the Baraita,
Right.
not Baraita itself.
Right, but there's no question because there's no reason to think that that wouldn't apply here as well.
Yeah,
but since the Braita is saying it, the Braita, I guess in this case, feels that it needs to also prove this statement because it does sound a little interesting. It sounds brand new. We didn't know this, so it says it, and it's going to save you the trouble and just tell you from where it knows this. It's going to bring you a proof that Sav means hastening for immediately, and it's going to bring you proof that Sav also means hastening for all generations.
But is that doing it just for curious minds?
No,
Minds want to know.
We're asking why. Remember, it's not being done for our sake. Someone's imported the entire Braita.
But why do you need to import the entire writer if you can just import the saying that Sav means for now and all generations?
You could.
That's what I'm saying.
No. You absolutely could have. You're right. Meaning, would it be sufficient to quote only the first half? Yeah. But if you're quoting it, why not quote the whole thing? Why not learn the whole thing? Because you know what? Then you're leaving yourself open. First of all, if you quote something, quote the whole thing. Right? Get the context. Maybe the context will be important. Maybe if I don't give you the whole context, you start asking me questions and think that there's something wrong with my proof. You're quoting someone. Give the whole quote.
Right.
Okay? Because also remember, when they're quoting things, it's also their way of learning things. There's nothing written, right? Especially during the time of the Braita. There's nothing written. So you already say something, you explain it. You already quote something, quote the whole thing. This way people are repeating it and learning it. Okay.
The word ziruz, what we're saying here, hastening, is that an applied translation or is it the actual translation? It seems like
no, it's actually the translation, but it's more positive. Yeah. Hasten means like to do something with fervor. Meaning, go ahead and do it in a passionate way. Zariz means someone who does something quickly. Okay, but usually it has a positive connotation to it. Someone who's mizdarez for mitzvah, someone who does something quickly and diligently. Okay, maybe diligent would be a better translation. Literally, it means do something quickly, but it means quickly in a positive way, diligent.
Okay.
because of excitement or because of to try to, it has a positive connotation to it. But hastening, not necessarily positive. Hasten could be, it's neutral, it could be good, it could be bad. The zeruz is a positive connotation. Okay, so now we're almost out of time. Okay, good, perfect. Okay, so now we have to finish reading the Braita, right? So we understand the first part of the Braita, and we see that already from the first part of the Braita, we have an answer to our question. How do we know that women are exempt? Okay? Because the Braita has told us that the word tzav, that we know happens to be used in our pasuk, is for generations as well, so you no longer have to wonder whether this was just Sarah. Let's continue with the Braita. Okay? So, Zeruz, first it wants to show you that the word tzav means to hasten. Okay, when Hashem says to Moshe, tzav et bnei Yisrael, command the Jewish people, that it means that they should do it quickly. Dichtiv.
Yeah, but why do we need to prove that you need to do it quickly? Why don't you just say
it doesn't need to, it doesn't.
Tzav is just now and forever. Why do we need to bring in the word Zeruz? Again,
you have to remember, this Braita is not talking about our case. This Braita is just people sitting around, and someone asks Rabbi Ishmael, what does the word tzav actually mean? And he says, well, the word tzav means to do something diligently, both now, and to do this thing diligently now, and to do it in the future. And then the rabbi continues saying, and I'll tell you from where you can see that the word tzav means to do something diligently. Okay, from the fact that it says v'tzavet Yeshua v'chazkeu v'amtzeu, because the pasuk in Yeshua says, command Yeshua and strengthen him and fill him with valor. So you see, the word tzav is being explained in the pasuk as what? As doing something with strength and valor. So you see, the word tzav means diligent and strongly and passionately. Okay, and again, this is not talking about Brit Milah. Okay. So that proves that's when Rabbi Ishmael is teaching this idea, he brings proof the fact that the word tzav means to do something diligently, fervently, quickly. Okay? Miyad u'ledorot, and now Rabbi Ishmael wants to prove to his students that tzav also means for now and for future generations. Dichtiv min hayom asher tziva Hashem v'halel ledorotechem. So, you see the word tziva? See, the word tziva is in there. That's our root word. Min hayom, what's min hayom asher tziva? From the day, meaning from the day that Hashem, ding, 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 tziva v'hala ledorotechem. What's ledorotechem? Future generations. There you go. End of quote.
Yeah.
Now that we've seen the whole quote, what part actually interests us? The first statement, which is that the word tziva means for both now and generations. In our pasuk, Avraham Avinu has the word tziva, which means that when the Torah says kasher tziva Elohim oto, as Hashem was mitzvah him and not her, it means forever him and not her. All hymns and not hers. You really want to know how I know that word means that? Read the second part of the Braita. That's not really our concern. That's it. We're done.
Okay, so if I just went back to that...
Now wait. So we had a question of why we have two dichtivs.
Yes.
Right? Now you understand why we have the two dichtivs?
Yes, because...
It's not really part of our thing.
You first needed to explain Zeruz, and then you wanted to explain Miyad.
Or the Durot.
The Dorot.
Right. But it isn't really... So that's why, you see, I did here in my flowchart, and then it's like one big box. It's all part of the Braita.
Right.
But as a function word, it can throw you off. Well, I have Tana, that's a function word. And I have Dichtiv and Dichtiv, it's another function word. So there's three different stages here. Well, there are really kind of three different stages, but it's all part of the same Braita that we're using, because the first sentence of it answers our question. And the second part of it is just, continuing its own Braita. I'm not going to disturb you. Continue telling your Braita. Okay, yeah, you're going to ask something.
No, so once again, this tangential flow, I guess it threw me off a bit. So it just happens that you said it's a live conversation, so he just chose to explain what Ziruz.
No, again, when that was being said, it was being studied. You know, someone said it and explained it, and then someone who remembered it generations later, because that's how Mishnah was learned in Pratit, we said it by heart. Someone came and said, "How do I know that she's exempt?" And then you answered, because it says, look at the pasuk. It says, as Hashem commanded him. Why would the word need him? I said, then I would say back to you, well, okay, that proves that Sarah is exempt. But how do I know that that all women are exempt? I said, well, the word siva is in there. So what? He says, well, don't you remember the braita that we heard from Rabbi Ishmael? What the word siva means? The word siva, and he said, okay, I don't remember. Quote it for me, please. The word siva means, hey, diligent, both for now and in the future. Diligent because it says Chazkeu v'amtzeu, for now and for all generations, as it says Mahayom l'dorotechem. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I forgot that braita. Or yeah, you're right, that braita does. That braita, which was said in a completely different context, actually would apply to us as well, because our pasuk says the word siva. Excellent answer. Thank you so much. That's it. We're done.
So
it's a really to get the flow of understand how the Gemara actually works. It's not just something that's written. There's layers and layers and stages and everything. Yeah.
Just thinking about then the reason the Torah says Siva Tov Dorotam is only to show us
what Siva Tov.
Why doesn't it say in the first instance with Abraham that as Torah commanded him and his future generations? But it says in the second instance with Moshe, it commanded him. We commanded him and future generations, right? I guess my question.
No, but that again, that's not talking about Brit Milah.
I understand that. I get that. So, Torah never says an extra word if it doesn't have to.
Right.
If we already know that when the word Siva is there, it means not just the individual it's talking.
No, with Avram, we don't know it yet. We don't know it yet. Okay. Only when you see the word Siva in
Shmot,
in Shmot, Shmot Yud Gimel, wherever that is, I think it's about Pesach. Only when you see the verse about Moshe, do you say, look at that. The word Siva means for all future generations. And I can look back, so when it said about Avraham Avinu, it was us talking about for all generations. Now, the truth is that the Torah already, as you said in page 70, whatever, told him that he has to do this. But it didn't use the word tzav there. Right? We were looking for it. We weren't sure where it's taken from. We couldn't find the word tzav there. Right. So only, actually, this is really cool. This is excellent. This is second level stuff. Because we're asking our own questions and we just came up with a nice idea. Why is it that the word tzav doesn't appear when Hashem says to him, you should have to circumcise all of your kids, including Ishmael, and your slaves, right? Everything. Why does it not say the word tzav there? And it only says the word tzav in what context?
In terms of the Jewish people.
When he's giving a brit milah to Yitzchak. Only when it's talking about Yitzchak does it say Hashem did to him as Hashem was mitzvah for him. Why does it not say Hashem said to Avraham Avinu, "Vayitzav et Avraham, give circumcision to all the people in your home, in your household"? It's as if the Torah waited to use that verb for when it's going to tell you Hashem, Avraham did to Yitzchak his son as he was mitzvah for him.
It is important.
Because only for there it's for all the generations. How cool is that? That's second level. I mean, again, it could be that what we just said now. I wouldn't be surprised again if some Rishon comes and says that's why. Because it's an excellent question. Why wasn't the verb tzav used when Hashem actually commanded Moshe Avram, and only rather telling me in the story form that when Avram telling me about Avram actually doing it to his son, suddenly slipping in the word tzav in there.
Well, I'll tell you why though. I think I disagree with you because you never see the word tzav when the commandment is given the first time. It's only when it repeats Asher.
No. What are you talking about? Tzav et b'nei, here, Parashat Tzav, the Baruch Moshe Lemor. Tzav, we read it in Rosh Chodesh. Tzav et b'nei Yisrael, and no, sure it does. Sure it does.
Was the individual? Was it one person? It says.
No, it says that it says several times to Moshe to say to Sad Bnei Israel, command the Jewish people in the following way.
Correct.
No. Not only in the form of a story,
but here,
not even after the fact. He says to them, command them.
Right, but here I'm just saying that here Hashem is talking directly to a person, asking the person to do something.
Where? In which case?
In both. In case of Moshe and in case of...
I hear what you're saying. You're saying the word tzav is like reflective.
It's a reflective.
It's not that Hashem would say to Avram Avinu...
I'm commanding you to do
Right, he wouldn't say, Ani mitzaveh...
Yeah, it always says...
No. Oh, you almost got me, but no.
Okay.
There's one place that comes to mind that I'm sure there's more, and therefore I'm sure there's more. Kasher ani mitzaveh otach. No, there is. Kasher ani mitzaveh otach. There is. I have to check it to make sure, but I'm pretty sure.
What do you want to them?
What?
Yeah, what do you want to them?
Hey, this is kind of what it looked like. It was a rectangle. It was shiny. It was like
Google. Let's ask Google.
Let's see.
Professor Google.
Rabbi Google.
Yeah.
I have Hebrew keyboard. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for that.
Yeah, here. Let's see.
Kasher meaning.
No. Here you go. Let's see. Bereshit Kaf Zayin. Yeah, we have it open already. Let's see. Let's see, where is this? Oh, well, Bereshit. I mean, there's more. This is the first one that I found.
It's Zayin, Pasuk, what?
I don't know.
Kaf Zayin?
Perek Kaf Zayin. I know where this is. When Rivka. Here. Second. Come on. Pasuk Chet. Here. Look. It's interesting. Just to show you that it's not always reflective. V'ata b'nei shma b'koli, l'asher ani metzava otach. Listen to as I command you.
Yeah.
It's not only something that's being... I hear what you're saying. You're saying this is just something that's being told. It's like when Hashem says to Moshe, let's say I'm commanding you, it says, command the Jew, command them. But there's others. But it's not only using here. Let's see.
You're right.
There's more.
But here this is a person to a person. It's not Hashem talking to you.
I don't know. You're right. It's not Hashem talking. I'm saying the use of the verb
Correct.
is something that's not only reflective.
Fair enough. Yep. Heed my voice.
Because listen, Hashem, if there was even if you were right, okay, then Hashem could have said first of all, it could have used it when Avram actually did it to first time around to Ishmael and to himself and to his slaves. It could have used Vayas Elohim kasher tziva, Vayas Avram kasher tziva. But it almost as if it's like no. That verb is only going to be used when it's going to be in the context of something which is going to be for all generations. And it's really cool because what it does is it says, don't get confused. Avram circumcising Ishmael and the rest of his household, and Avram circumcising Yitzchak, it's not the same thing. One is a one-time thing. One is a covenant. Right? One is a covenant for all generations. So, one was a covenant with Avram at the moment, but the one that's a covenant for all generations, that's only
Yitzchak.
So even if you wanted to say that, fine. So why is the word kasher tziva? Doesn't he merit over there that to say Avram did everything he was commanded? No, only with Yitzchak, because the word as commanded is.
So how does it say that?
As a result, it's an obligation for Jews and not other people.
including heirs, including
And Avram took his son Ishmael and all the servants born and all those here.
Where
I
are you?
just think how the story describes Avram actually doing what
Where is it? It's Kav Gimel?
Kav Gimel on page 76.
Okay.
On that very, it just says that he did it. It doesn't say he did as Hashem had commanded him.
Here, look, Nachon. It could have easily have done it, right?
Yeah.
Look, Pasuk Kav Gimel. Vayikach Avraham et Yisrael beno, ויעל בשעולתם בעצם היום הזה, כאשר, look at that, that's so cool. כאשר דיבר איתו אלוהים. As Hashem told it, no, spoke to him. Doesn't say כאשר ציווה. Why does it say כאשר ציווה? No, we can't say ציווה yet. The word tzivah means something very specific.
For Jews,
It says, look, but it should say kasher tzivah.
Very nice. That's really good.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, 100%.
Nachon?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, as God had spoken to him. But over there, it's the same phrase with one change, kasher tzivah. So now you look at the Braita of Rabbi Shmuel, which at first sounded like almost like arbitrary. It's like, wow, look at that. Yeah. That distinction is actually there.
Except
now you look at it, it's like, what? The Torah is going out of its way to not say as Hashem commanded, whether as Hashem spoke. What is spoke? Hashem told him to do it. What do you call it when Hashem tells you to do something? It's called a command. No. As he spoke to him.
Again, I'm being devil's advocate again, but here we're talking about this all happening at the same time, right?
Which?
Hashem is telling him the sign of the covenant. You have to go. Sorry. Everybody has to be circumcised.
Right.
Okay, goes circumcised. The time had already passed. 9 months had passed. Yitzchak is born, and because previously Hashem has said, "This is for you and all your future generations," now this is already a commandment. Therefore, I'm circumcised Yitzchak as a part of the commandment.
Fine, but why can't you use the same verb over here? You could have used it over here, kasher tzivah.
It happens in the same.
So a lot of times the Torah will come and say, you did as Moshe commanded, or as Hashem commanded him.
Fair enough.
It's like the Torah's going out of its way to not use that word. Now, because that word, we got to save that word. That word means something very specific.
Fair enough. Right.
Yeah, fair. No, straight to you. Look, we came up with something. We came up with chiddush. Now you see, the problem is that sometimes it's frustrating. It's like you think you came up with something. There's two different kind of approaches. You come up with something, and then you go and you read somewhere and you say, oh, someone else said it. So sometimes people say, oh my God, I thought I came up with such a great idea, but exactly the opposite. At some point you come to wow, then now I know that it's not just something I made up. Just a cute idea that could be nice. I know this is a real thing because someone else has said it already. Because the Ritva said it. The Meiri said it.